Hello there and welcome to this Carveco tutorial. Trying something new today, so you've got me down in that left hand corner. So we're gonna open Carveco. This computer has Carveco Maker Plus, so and any of the Carveco products will do this. This tutorial is to show you some of the drawing tools and how to operate it as a CAD system, and we'll do some tool paths as well, some drilling strategy and a pocket. So we're going to open up a new job. So the measurements here are correct for the particular part that I'm making. High resolution, this really doesn't matter really because it's just a 2.5D job. Work it in millimeters, but I want the orientation set in the middle of the work. We're going to OK that. Just a little alteration here. I've just discovered that my camera here keeps on cutting out when I'm operating Carveco. Don't know why. So I've just made it smaller so you can see what's me, I suppose. Okay. This is the 3D screen. Now that's depicted by this yellow page, as it were. Now a lot of people find it easier to draw in the 2D screen, so that's what we're going to do here. I already have rulers turned on, so if when you start your program, whether it be Carveco Maker, Maker Plus, or the main Carveco program, whichever you have, view, and here it is here. So you can turn the rulers off and on if you wish. In the view section, we definitely need them on. And you will also see that the 0 for the X, which is this line here, and the 0 for the Y, which is this line here, is set up with the orientation that we set up in the beginning of the program in the middle of the paper, or the middle of the drawing. So that's good for us as well. So what I'm going to do to, I suppose, make things a little easier visually is I'm going to fetch some guidelines out now and position them on the drawing here, just to visually make things look or appear to be a little easier for you to work with. I find them useful anyway. So you just go over here onto the rule, left click, hold down, and you can drag a line out and position it fairly accurate like that. Now if you hover over it and left click again, double left click, sorry, you can position the the line exactly where you want it, within 1/2 thousandths of an inch. I'm talking in thousandths of an inch now, but if you get my meaning, in other words, very, very accurately. So you just 0.0, which is, you want it on the 0 line of the x-axis, and we're going to apply that, and we'll come out of that. So now we know that's exactly, that line is exactly where we want it. So I'm going to do the same now, but I want it in a slightly different position. Let me see. Right, what I'm actually doing is I'm making brackets for this largest NEMA 17 stepper motor that you can get. Oh, there. I'm not sure how big it is. Okay, it's 42 millimeters and I want a 1 millimeter clearance, so I'm going to go 22. So I'm talking to myself and designing as we go here. So I want another line now, 22 millimeters from this edge here. So what I'm going to do is go up here into the X ruler area, right click, hold down, fetch this down, so that's 30, that's 10, 20, 1, 22, right there. So that means if this is 30 millimeter there, so that means I want an 8 millimeter offset from the center. Double click. Well, that's pretty close. So you can see the way that I'm working here. Apply. There's a very good reason why I just did that, because, well, let's get the drawing over and done with first. But this is the actual center of our part that we're making, okay, according to Carveco anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the circle tool. I'm going to come here now. Carveco will jump or snap to that cross that we've just made right there. I want that to be 20. I don't know what I want it to be. Okay, the boss on here is 22 millimeters, but I want a bit of clearance, so I'm going to make it 23 millimeters. So over here, and you can see that that Carveco has snapped to that cross that we've made there. Indicated here 8 millimeter offset from the 0, which is that line, and 0 in the X, which is there. So what I'm showing you is you can very, very accurately make a very, very accurate part using the CAD system in Carveco. Any of the Carveco products this will do. So we've got 19 millimeters. What did I say? What? 23. 23.0. And I want to create that. And there it is. Because we're going to make a pocket there. Cancel out of that. Now you see that's highlighted. Now to de-highlight that, just come off into the grey area and do a left click, and it sort of comes out of it. Now then, we want 4 holes now, the mounting holes for the end of this, okay? And they are 31. It's like a 31 millimeter square. So I want them very accurately placed. So we're going to get the square, and we're going to come in the rough vicinity here and go like this. Just draw a square. Doesn't have to be terribly accurate. And we're going to say we want 31 millimeters there, 31 millimeters. Now we can very accurately place this now. So it needs to be 0, and this needs to be 8, and we want to create and come out of that. Deselect. So you can see now how the part is going to be built up. And we get our circle tool, and we're going to come on this apex, and you can see that the cross, okay, changes to a tag it in the middle because Carveco has just picked up on the apex of that corner, so we can very accurately place that drill-in hole like this. Just a slight adjustment there. Don't forget that's 23.5 from this 0 line, not that 0 line. Not the line that we made here, but the line there where the program orientation is. So this needs to be a 3mm hole. And we're going to create. And come out of that. Okay, now we can do a little, use another tool here in Carveco to accurately place the additional holes here. So what I need to do now is make another 3 very accurate holes or drill-ins on the apex of this square. This square is just there just for visual for me to make sure things are being put in the right place. And we're going to use the block copy rotate tool. Now it has 2 separate modes. It'll either do a block copy, in other words square copy, or it will do a circular copy, but we want block copy. Now the distance between holes is not center to center of the hole. It's from the outside or inside edge here to the inside edge of the next one. I'll show you what I mean. We want 31mm and 31mm. Okay, center hole to center hole. The hole itself is 3mm, so just deduct the 3mm off the full length that you want. So in our case it's 28mm and 28mm. Now if you notice, this red arrow here is set in the up position, so in other words what's going to happen is Carveco is going to make make them in that direction, and we want them in the lower direction. So you just hover over this and just left click, and that alters the direction of the arrow. And we want 2 columns of 2 rows, which is correct, and we apply. And Carveco will position them exactly where we require them to be. So we can deselect that, and in actual fact we can now delete this. You just left click and cut. So there it is, we're done. Now to get rid of these, you just hover over them, left click and push them back. Hover over it, left click, push it back. So this is exactly what we need, which is the pattern of this. Oh, there we are, there's the camera. Okay, for this to go into. So the first job we're going to do is we're going to do the drillings. So we want to do the drillings all together. So we just choose one, hold down shift, then left click on each one. So now we have them all selected. And now to do a tool path, what you can go to 2 areas to get at the tools and do the tool paths. You can either go over here and click on tool paths, or you can go up here and click on tool paths, and that will bring them down. This is a 2D toolpath, and it's a drill-in. Okay, now this is what they call a drill-in strategy. Now what we're going to do, start depth, first of all, selected vectors. So we have selected the vectors. So we're telling Carveco, well, we want you to do something with these 4 holes. And the start depth is 0, which is the top of the material. I always work, a lot of people use the bed, but that leaves itself open for drilling into your bed. So I always use the top of the material as my 0 position. And we need to go 3 millimeters. Now we're going to select a tool, and we're going to say it's a 3 mil, end mill, although it's a drill. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the way you set it up in the drilling strategy. So we're going to select that. Now we're going to go back into this. Excuse me not looking at the camera. The camera's sort of down here, and I'm working off a big 55-inch screen up here. So we will open up now and set this up for our particular application. I only like going down 1 millimeter. I'm going to set up a peck drill in here. 1 millimeter feed rate, 10 millimeters a second. Probably a little bit too much for my little mill. It's going to be done on this mill here. It's a converted X2, SIG X2. You buy them in America, I think, under the Grizzly name as well. So I'm gonna put that at 6 millimeter. Actually, I can leave that at 10 millimeter. For that's probably, I'm gonna go 3 millimeter for a plunge. Now, my maximum RPM is 4,000 RPM on that little mill. Incidentally, sometime before Christmas, I will have all the drawings and specifications and parts list up on Patron for that little mill. I did the full conversion. I actually designed the conversion kit myself, so all the drawings will be on Patron. And also I did some 16 videos which you will find on a playlist that I've got on my channel as well, if you're interested in looking at that. I also did a belt drive unit as well. Okay, back to drilling this. Oh, while we're on the subject, I'll put it up now somewhere down the bottom of the screen here. That is a 5% Carveco discount code. Now it's a 5% discount across the board, whether you get Maker, Maker Plus or Carveco, whether it's monthly, yearly, or whether you buy it outright. 5% off. But it is only applicable with the link address. Okay, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, or write back to me in the comment section saying, oh, your Carveco discount code doesn't work. It works with that address code then. Okay, so it's only that address that the code works with. If you go to your local Carveco distributor, you know, they're agents for, and it's not with them. This is directly with Carveco themselves, so it is only that address. Okay. I'm going to set this on auto, and let's make this a little bigger. There we go. So you can make these boxes bigger and smaller as you feel fit. We'll say use peck drilling, yeah. Auto, correct. Now then, this is, the material actually is 6 millimeters. Safe said 10 millimeter, that's fine. We'll make this the same. 10 millimeters. Set up the material. 6 millimeters. And we're going to OK that. And we're going to name it. And I just abbreviate everything. See, so it's 3 millimeter. That'll do, as long as you know what it is. Calculate, and it's done. So we can opt out of that, and we'll go this way. So this time, toolpath, so it opens up down here then, and it's an area clearance, 2D area clearance. We're going to select the item we want to, the vector that we want to machine, start, finish 6 millimeter. Actually we're going to go 6.5 because I want to go all the way through without leaving an edge or anything. 6.5. That's okay. Add a tool. Okay. 6 millimeter end mill. Select. And we can go in here and edit. Now, I always use an offset vector. I want a nice clean hole. I don't want to raster and go back and forth. I want to come into the middle actually and then spiral out. I find it gives a much better finish. So yeah, inside, out. So in other words, it's going to plunge down into the middle here, then go round and work its way out. In actual fact, it'll do a little dance and go down, and then it'll come out. Start, finish, okay. Let's step over 1.8. Yeah, that's okay. Step down. I like doing 1.5 millimeter. 1.25 actually. 1.25 is much more gentle for my little mill. Feed rate. I'll set that at 10 millimeters per second, and depending on how it's cut in, it should manage it okay. But you know, I can run Mach 3 at you know, a lower percentage. In other words, I can run it at 60%, 50% of any of these settings. Okay, so it's not critical, but I like to get it somewhere close. Plunge rate. Probably 2 millimeters per second, nice and gentle, and of course again 4,000 RPM. Tool, that really doesn't matter, it's only if you've got a tool changer that would matter. And we've already spoke about this. I always use an offset, and I go from the center. Ramp moves, most definitely. Now, Carveco sort of learns the way that you work normally, so this is all set fine. Machine safe 10, material thickness it's the same, and we're going to write this as 6mm, 6mm end mill. You know, it's just so I can understand what it is. That's okay. So the real test is when you go to 3D and do an isometric view. Just change like this, and then do a simulation. And the simulation is here. So we're going to press OK. I always do it on fast. Simulate. There it is. That's the one hole. I didn't ask it to simulate all toolpaths. Now here's all toolpaths. There you go. And if you want to change the material to, I mean that is like, I suppose that would be aluminium. It's the default setting. You come here and you know you can choose many things. I personally like and favor bronze. Apply, because I think it looks nice. Now a lot of people in the comment section and have written emails to me saying, oh, my machine isn't in the listing. Well, I'm going to show you what to do. So toolpaths, now that brings up this box, and what you're after is this. Press on that. So this is the post processor. So take them all over this way. The first one first, which is the drill-in. Take that over. This is the output screen. Now, I'm going to send it to my desktop. And we've got to title it something. Cut. So it's cut 1. And it's a 3mm drill. Okay, now the output. Now you see what I got it set at here, which is G-code millimeter tap. Now that is the universal standard G-code for millimeters. Now if you open up the codes, then the different types of codes, you'll see that there's G-code millimeter tap and G-code inch tap. So if you're working in Carveco in inches, you choose that one if your machine is not in the listing. Okay, but you know, you see all the Hasses are in there. And Tarmac, and there's many in there. So you know, I mean, I'll just run through. Here we go. There's another. Is it beautiful machine? Where did I see that then? There we go. Patron. That is an absolute beautiful machine. German technology. You know, I mean, if I was to have a shop and I wanted accuracy, you know, there's two machines that I would get. A Patron, because I absolutely love them, and a Hass, because they're good machine. But you know, if you're a hobbyist or something like that, well, you know, you go to things like SIG and you kit it out yourself, or Tarmac if you know you want to buy one. But anyway, going off track here a little bit. Millimeter, so G-code millimeter tap. Okay, and save. And then highlight, bring that one back over, highlight again, that one over there. So it's cut to 6mm a mill and save that one. Ooh. Cut to 6mm. And save. Okay, so there you are. There you go. So I hope you've liked the little video today. The next video I think will be me machining this part on the mill. So please press like, subscribe, and don't forget, if you want to take advantage of the 5% discount code, my 5% discount code, you need to go to the address that is with it. Okay, the address tag. That will be on the underside of the video here, just by the comment section there, in the video description. Underneath that, it's just, click on that and it'll take you straight there. Also, I put it at the end of the video as well, so whichever is easiest for you, if you are interested. So thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and if you would like to become a patron, go along to my Patron page and have a look. So thank you for joining me for this video, and it's bye for now.